Welcome back, everybody, to another Toolbox Extra on the Educational AD Podcast. We're going to be right back with this week's guest, but as always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Now, if you've listened to the podcast, you know these are all great companies. They're companies that you should have working for you. So take 3 minutes, that's it. Listen to our shout outs, then listen to our Toolbox Extra guest, and then go ahead and reach out to these sponsors. I'm telling you, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack for their support of the podcast. You know, in my school, we use surveys for just about everything, for student athletes, for coaches, for parents, and the information that came back, incredibly valuable, especially when you need to share data with your school board, your principal, sometimes even just with a parent. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey just for you, athleticsurveys.com. We also want to say thank you to Home Campus. Scheduling, rosters, results, facilities, communication. Home Campus does all of this and more and does it better and faster than the other platforms. Did I mention athletic eligibility and clearance? That one alone is a game changer. Go to homecampus.com. Check out all the great ways they can help you in your athletic department. Homecampus.com. We also want to say thank you to Gipper. Gipper is the modern marketing platform that allows you to turn your athletic department social media into a Division I, even a professional quality show. Gipper's used and trusted by over 20,000 high school and college athletic departments. It's professional graphic design made easy, and it's easy because of their thousands of professionally designed templates that you can customize easily into your colors, your brands, your logos. Create, share, and schedule all your social media content on one simple platform, and that platform is Gipper. Go to Gipper.com, and for all our sponsors, don't forget to mention you heard about it on the Educational AD Podcast. Let's say thanks to Huddle. You know, as a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure that our school was a Huddle school, and our coaches just loved the Huddle platform. Student athletes and parents loved it too. Go to huddle.com, join the millions of users, and turn your school into a Huddle school. That's huddle.com. We want to say thanks to Booster Hub, the #1 Booster Club software program. Things like sponsorship payments, concession sales, meal fees. Booster Hub handles all of this through their secure platform. Volunteer signups, volunteer changes, you know they're going to happen. Nothing falls through the cracks. Everybody stays connected. Give your boosters the platform they need. Give them the platform they deserve. And that's boosterhub.com. We also want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame and Beacon Creative. Now, Wall of Fame has been helping schools bring their legacy to life for over a decade, but Beacon Creative takes it to a whole new level with their content creation service. They're going to take your stories, your history, your kids, your coaches, and come up with compelling narratives that you can then post on social media. It's just incredible. I want you to reach out to John Townsend, and you can email him at John, John, at beaconwalloffame.com. Beacon Creative and Vital Signs Wall of Fame. It's a winning team you should be a part of. Let's also say thank you to Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Now, full disclosure, I didn't get my master's through the Ohio program, but guess what? My assistant athletic director did, along with thousands of others, and it was a great experience. And while they were earning their degrees, they also completed 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. We also want to thank our good friends at Hometown. Now, Hometown continues to be a leader in education-based athletics with their solutions that include things like, well, digital ticketing, of course, but how about fee-free fundraising, athletic website construction? The list just goes on and on. Whether you're an athletic director, a principal, even a head coach, Hometown is going to show you how to save time, how to raise more money, and how to bring your entire community together. That's hometown.com. Check them out today, and as I like to say, tell them you heard about it on the Educational AD Podcast. And we don't want to forget about Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and you can schedule a live web demo to see their products in action. You've heard me say many times, probably the best purchase I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Schedule that live web demo today and tell them you heard about it on the Educational AD Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another Toolbox Extra on the Educational AD Podcast. Longtime listeners of the podcast will certainly recognize today's guest. And if you're new to the podcast, I encourage you to go back, listen to our Spotify archives for episodes that feature Dr. Mekia Troy. Mekia is let's say among other things, she's a certified master athletic administrator. She's a member of the NIAAA's National Teaching Faculty, very active at her state level. She's the director of athletics at Creekside High School. That's in Georgia. Just a tremendous background as an athlete, as a coach, as a leader, and she is also a best-selling author. Her series that was on the podcast, Teachable Moments, is a book. It's available on Amazon, something that you should definitely add to your professional library. Dr. Mekia Troy, welcome back to the Educational AD Podcast.
Thank you so much, Jay. Glad to be here. Glad to be back.
Yeah, well, again, listeners, you have a tremendous resource here. We're going to give out Dr. Troy's contact information so you can, pick her brain a little bit more or simply just add her to your network. But this is the Toolbox Extra. We bring athletic directors from all over the country on to share their tips or tools, if you will. What do you have for our listeners on this particular episode today?
Yeah, well, thanks again. So today, I just want to talk about a little bit about what it's a recent experience I had with our student athletes, unintended, actually. I, like many other athletic administrators, have other duties as assigned, which, you never know what those could be. But for me, I have morning duty near our locker rooms with our student athletes as they're putting their bags away. And then, of course, the cafeteria for some nice lunch duty. And one thing about the cafeteria is that the students, they can come in sometimes, they're a lot more relaxed than they are in the classroom. So some good people watching happens in that cafeteria when I'm on lunch duty. So you get a chance to see them in their element with their friends, how they interact, particularly to see how your student athletes behave outside of the class and just see how they're carrying themselves throughout the day. So just a day recently, I was sitting on lunch duty, just, minding my business, watching my door, making sure everyone was doing the things they should be doing. And some students, which included some of our student athletes, found a corner close to where I was and decided to do a TikTok video. So here you have this camera, the phone is set up in the corner, and they start going through all the motions for this choreographed dance that they wanted to record for TikTok. So most of the time, this happens a lot of places throughout the school day. But that day was a little bit different. So I decided to just watch a little bit as they were doing their video. And it was very interesting, the things that I learned. So for me, it turned into what I would consider a teachable moment in just observing them and how they carry themselves in creating this video. Now, this video might not be seen by any more than just a few of their friends. There may be some that go viral and they get their 15 minutes of fame, but for the most part, the video probably wasn't going very many places. However, they took the time to do it. But I was intrigued to see their dedication and their effort in coming together to get this video done. And it just occurred to me as watching them that this is teamwork in action with this group of students, different grade levels. Some are athletes, some weren't, and they were working together to reach this goal of completing this, whatever this TikTok video was, with this choreographed dance, but they were working diligently at it. And there were some specific things that I noticed that really stuck with me that I thought was important to be able to share, because in our role as athletic administrators and athletic leaders in general, it's important for us to find ways to be relevant with our student athletes. Now, you might not jump on the video and do a TikTok dance yourself. However, it's always good to know what it is that they're into and, what matters, even if it means just being able to say something that sounds like, what's cool with our student athletes. So for me, there were 8 things that I noticed with these students, and I was just thoroughly impressed with how they made the video. Just because I was paying attention. Again, these videos happen all the time, but this day it just stuck out to me. So the first thing I noticed is that they will practice anywhere at any time. They will find any open spot in the hallway, a door, a desk, a table, and they will prop up their phones and they will fall into a full-on routine anywhere, anytime. What's interesting is that even as we're looking at our student athletes and how their practice habits or the way that they would come into a game or focus in that way, there's free space, there's opportunity, and they're willing to put in extra work. How many of them could take those same things and translate that into how they approach their athletics? Could they stand for a little more practice? Could they take that on by themselves? Could they be motivated enough to do that with a few friends just to get some extra work in with someone that doesn't have to tell them to do that? Second thing I noticed is that within this choreography, there are some moves that are the same, there's some moves that are different, but everyone is working together to get the video done. Again, back to teamwork. Someone's going to play one position, someone's going to play a different position. Someone's going to be the star athlete, someone might be a role player, but everyone was working together to get their job done, and no one had a problem that they were all doing something different as they were working together to do the routine. But everyone had their part. And if they didn't do their part, then it wasn't going to turn out right. And that's when I started to notice them correcting each other and saying things to each other. So for one, as we move to the third thing that I noticed is that they were willing to help each other learn. So if someone didn't know what to do within that choreography, they would say, oh, no, you do it like this. You do it like that. And they would take time with their peers to make sure they understood whatever this new information was they didn't have before, and they would help them to see that. Again, envisioning how they could do that in practice with maybe a freshman that's just come onto the team or a new player that's transferred in. How could you help them to learn a new play or a new drill and how they could do that and receive it in a way that their teammate is getting it to them, that they could use it. So that was impressive to me that they were all willing to learn. And if there was anything new, they can walk them through those individual steps. The fourth thing is that they owned their mistakes. At any point when someone messed up in creating this video, they might say, hey, I messed up. Let's try it again. Oh, I forgot this part. Let's do it again. And they didn't have any problem with just stepping up and saying, oh, that's not right. Let me correct it. And on the other side of that, they were willing to hold each other accountable. So in the fifth thing that I noticed within this moment of watching them do the video is that if you didn't say that you messed up, one of your peers might tell you, huh, that's not right. This part, you didn't do that right. And they would hold them accountable for getting it corrected. And in doing that, just imagine if players were willing to hold each other accountable in the athletic setting and receive that feedback from their teammates and make those corrections without there being any issue. How much more smoothly would things go in that team setting if they were willing to be held accountable and willing to hold their teammates accountable? So it was very impressive again. The sixth thing is that there was no shame in them starting over. Anytime they made a mistake, hey, that's not it. Let's try again. No shame at all in starting over from the beginning. It didn't matter how long it took. They still had time within that lunch period to do it over and over and over again. It didn't matter to them that it took time. Didn't matter that they needed to start over, and they weren't afraid to do so. That's not right. Let's correct it. Let's fix it, and let's do it the right way. And they were looking forward to doing that, to starting over together. The seventh thing is that they kept trying until it was perfect. It didn't bother them from the mess ups to start it over to someone walks by and you have to stop and start again. They were willing to keep trying until it was perfect. They encouraged each other. This is the one. We got it now. We got it now. This is the one. Let's do it now. And again, there was no judgment. They weren't upset with each other. They were working together and having fun. The last thing, number 8 of all in this moment of observing these students doing this TikTok video is that they reviewed the film together. once it was all said and done, they came together to watch the video and, oh yeah, this is great. Send it to me. Let me post it. Send it here. Send it there. Let's see it. Work together. Oh, I like that. Let me send it to me. Again, if our student athletes could transfer these skills that they're practicing probably daily in just doing TikTok videos to what they do on the court, on the field, just imagine how much we as athletic leaders could encourage them to make meaning of the value of teamwork because they're already doing it. We hear the phrase together, everyone achieves more, but they're really doing that on a regular basis, even in what they're doing outside of our sports. And it's something that we can take advantage of as leaders to help them to use what they already have. It's a teaching strategy for us to be able to draw from those connections of the previous experiences that they already know. Now you don't have to make it weird or be cringy and throwing out things that maybe you're not comfortable with as the leader and speaking to the students. However, if you can say, hey, remember how you all were doing this video? How about you show this student athlete how to do this drill the proper way? Or remember how you worked together on this video that I saw that you shared so proudly in the locker room or in the hallway? This is how we need to come together to get this job done as we go into this game or this event. And I think it gives us an opportunity to connect their prior knowledge. We've got student athletes of different skill levels, different grade levels, with all kinds of different previous experiences that we have to try to find a way to make a connection and make it all work. And that can be a daunting task, but it really is no different than the way they all came together in just creating this TikTok video. It's the same thing. Everyone's from all over the place, different skill levels, different abilities, but they work together to get it done. And I think that it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't tap into what our student athletes are doing to try to help them make connection and make meaning of it. So activating that prior knowledge that they're already using in doing videos or other things that they may be into, but that was just the experience from that lunch duty of observing them and just seeing an opportunity as an athletic leader to say, hey, this is something that we might be able to carry into what we do on a regular basis as athletic administrators, as coaches, to help bring them along and say, hey, you're already doing a good job with this on social media. Let's see how we can transfer this into what we do on a daily basis in our practices and games.
Boy, just so many directions I want to go with this. I guess looking at kids, and I'm going to guess some of those kids, maybe even all of those kids, were not, let's say, student athletes. Am I right in that observation? Okay.
You're right.
And yet, the things that we value as athletic leaders, teamwork, hard work, cooperation, I mean, all of that stuff is right there. And I guess one of the points is that every school, your school, my school, our listeners' schools, you've got kids like that. And what a resource, what a value added feature if you as an AD can somehow tap into their talents and, hey, have you ever thought about, and I don't know what it could be right now, but, helping promote, our upcoming game or just doing something in that area. Obviously I'm 100 years older than you and I'm so old, I'm retired. Technology is not, one of those things that I would say is it's in my toolbox, but it's not, one of my primary tools. You're probably a little bit more up on it, but the kids today, our students, that's their language. That's what they work in. And, using TikTok, social media, other things to promote our teams, our programs, to connect with other students, bring in some of those students that don't normally attend games, not because they don't like it, but it's just not on the radar. And, getting it on their radar, just so cool. And then all the skills that you mentioned that you witnessed, boy, if we could get our student athletes to display some of that, if we could get our coaches to do that sometimes. After watching that, I'm going to say a performance by them. They didn't know they were performing for you. But after watching that, did anything inspire you to say, hey, I'm going to share this with our our basketball coach, or I'm going to share this with all of our coaches. Anything stick out that maybe you could apply with your coaching staff?
Yeah, well, I actually intend to roll it out at our end of the year meeting with our coaches to bring that up. But I did share it on social media just so that other athletic directors could maybe take a look and see, hey, this is happening in my school. It might be happening in yours too. And let's take advantage of this opportunity because they're all doing this. They're all doing it. So it's on us to, be flexible, adjust, and to work to be relevant with what our student athletes and our students are doing.
The things that now I'm going to put you on the spot. Did you talk at all with any of those students that you had observed? And did you? I mean, in a selfish way, I would have applauded their efforts, but then I would have said, hey, can you help me out in the athletic department? Did you talk to them at all?
I did not talk to them because I didn't want them to stop. I didn't want them to notice my observation too much and that make them feel like, oh, let's go to the other side, or oh, it's not that deep. But one of them was in season as a student athlete while they were doing this. And, in a separate conversation, I was able to slide in, how well you work with your teammates and your peers in conversation. And she didn't know what my connection was in that, but I was able to, put that into a conversation with her individually.
And again, I'm not surprised at all. Very cool stuff. Thanks so much for sharing. That's why we brought you back to the Toolbox Extra, for all that wisdom. I mentioned this earlier. If one of our listeners wanted to reach out and pick your brain a little bit more or connect with you, add you to their network, what's the best way that our listeners can connect with Mekia Troy?
Yeah, pretty active on X and Instagram at Dr. Troy Me. That's DrTroyme. Can find me there. Just type my name in LinkedIn if you like. Email is drtroyme@gmail.com. And I would love to be a resource if I can.
Well, thanks as always for everything you've done, for the podcast, for me. I know you guys just wrapped up your state conference. We have our state conference down here in Florida. Maybe you can sneak down and we can work you into a workshop. But always great to talk to you, and all the best and as you wrap up your spring sports season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
For listeners, we appreciate you. And just a reminder that we upload the Zoom recordings of every interview to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do the Toolbox Extra just about every week, just about every day. We try to share stories and some best practices from the world of athletics. So please come back and join us again on the next episode of the Toolbox Extra on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Before we go, of course, we want to say thanks to our sponsors one more time. Let's thank our friends at Home Campus. Scheduling, rosters, results, athletic eligibility, facilities, go to homecampus.com. Booster Hub, it's the #1 Booster Club software package. Go to boosterhub.com for more information. Let's say thanks to our friends at Huddle. I used Huddle as a football coach. As an AD, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com for more information. Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. If you're not using a survey to take the pulse of your parents, your student athletes, your coaches, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. Sideline Interactive indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Hometown, fundraising, website construction, digital ticketing, of course. Go to hometown.com. Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Check out Ohio University. I want to say thanks to Gipper. Turn your school's social media into a Division I, or even a pro experience. Find it all at Gipper.com. And Beacon Creative and Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Check out all the things that Beacon Creative can do for you. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.